It's a pleasure to welcome such a diverse group of innovators, policymakers, entrepreneurs, researchers, and industry leaders. People who understand that ideas are more than inspirations. They are assets that today, more than ever, create the foundation for economic resilience. We're meeting at a moment of undeniable uncertainty. Canada, like many countries, is navigating inflationary pressures, fluctuating energy markets, geopolitical realignments, and a global economy that seems to shift direction as quickly as our technology evolves. Worldwide trade dynamics are in flux. Traditional supply chains are being reconfigured, and new regional alliances are emerging. In the midst of this complexity, one thing has become exceptionally clear. Canada's economic strength will depend on our ability to create, protect, and commercialize intellectual property. IP is no longer just the legal scaffolding that surrounds innovation. It is the value. It is a differentiator between companies that lead and those that follow. It is the shield that protects Canadian technologies and those as they enter fiercely competitive global markets, and is the engine that transforms research excellence into globally traded products, services, and solutions. Canada has never lacked ingenuity. We have world-class universities, globally recognized cleantech leaders, competitive AI research clusters, and a growing community of entrepreneurs who are not only building new technology, but building new industries. Yet we know that historically, Canada has struggled with capturing the full economic benefit of this activity. Too many Canadian ideas have become foreign-owned successes. Too many of our companies have watched their innovation commercialize elsewhere. Too often, we have generated the spark without fully owning the flame. Change has started with key industry figures and thought leaders speaking out, and a number of federal and provincial programs initiated to address this challenge. IIC was proud to see 3 more years of funding provided by the most recent federal budget, along with funding for Elevate IP and IRAP IP Assist. This is a show of confidence in the programming that has been built to date and an opportunity to increase the level of performance and impact to further the Canadian economy. We need to see a new IP consciousness take hold. Firms are building strong patent portfolios to compete globally. We need to embed IP strategically into their business models from day one. We need our universities and research institutes to adopt more sophisticated approaches to tech transfer. And partnerships between industry and innovators need to be rooted in IP strategies that keep more value in Canada. This is not just good for business, it is good for the country. Strong IP ownership contributes to higher wages, more investment, and greater economic stability. It reduces dependence on external technology sources and strengthens Canada's standing in global negotiations. It supports the growth of advanced manufacturing, energy transition technologies, and digital infrastructure. It helps anchor companies and the wealth they create here at home. In uncertain times, IP is one of the few assets that appreciates with strategic use. It travels across borders, scales without limits, and generates revenue streams that are resilient even when markets shift. As global trade evolves, intellectual property becomes a currency, one that allows Canadian companies to compete on quality, on creativity, and on technological leadership, not just on cost. Taking advantage of this moment, though, requires collective effort, not just collaboration, but deep alignment between government, industry, academia, and investors. It requires supporting our companies, not only with capital, but with IP expertise, with IP strategies that can increase our competitiveness in global markets, with IP assets that increase our freedom to operate in those same markets. It requires a national mindset that treats IP as a strategic resource, on par with natural resources, talent, and capital. This summit is an opportunity to advance that conversation. Today we'll hear from experts who are shaping Canada's IP landscape, from companies demonstrating what strong IP strategy can unlock, and from policymakers who recognize that innovation and competitiveness must go hand in hand. Our task today is not simply to admire the potential of Canadian innovation. It is to ensure that economic value created by Canadian innovators is captured, scaled, and retained in Canada. Because in a world where uncertainty is now a constant, IP is one of the most powerful tools we have to build a more stronger, more resilient economy. Thank you all for being here, and thank you for your commitment to Canada's future.